You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
We are underway at Placer as the kick is off as Kevin Martinez. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler's Green Plaza. The Vista Del Lago Eagles won the toss, elected to receive. They will go left to right on your radio dial. The ball was caught at about the 5 and brought up at about the 20, and that's where we will see John Kett for the first time tonight. They will operate out of the shotgun, 4 receivers, 2 left, 2 right, ball right in the middle of the field, running back right behind it, turn, give it to him, met at the line of scrimmage, doesn't get a whole heck of a lot. Great job coming up from his backfield spot as Parker Kelly, the linebacker, picks up maybe a yard or 2.
Yeah, the first thing you got to do, make them throw. If they can run the ball all the time, they will, and that was a good job by the Hillman to stuff that for a gain maybe of 1.
The Eagles do not huddle. They'll stay in their shotgun look. Again, 2 receivers left, 2 right. This time Kett will throw. Looks quickly, throws it out, flares it out to the side. That's Keanu. He catches it. He'll pick up the first down, pass about the 35-yard line. First down for the Eagles. A little pass out to the side to the running back. Good pitch and catch.
Yeah, good pitch and catch because there was no one out there except for 1 defender against 2 receivers, and a good block by the Vista end sprung the running back for about a 12-yard gain.
Correction on that. That was Xavier Bryan. That's his 5th catch of the season. So it'll be 1st and 10, 34-yard line, first drive of the game. They give it to Bryan. He bounces outside. He's getting dragged down by Baylor Kelly, gets knocked out of bounds at about the 42, but he's able to pick up about 7 yards. Nice little run there by Bryan. Didn't look like he had a lot, but broke some tackles. Was able to get up about 7 yards.
Yeah, like you said, he looked like he was going to go up the middle again, saw there was nothing there and bounced it out and got out there quick. Unfortunately, Kelly with the speed was able to stop him.
Eagles going with tempo. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Ball's on the left hash. They're going left to right on your radio dial. It is 2nd and 3. Ball spotted at the 41. Give it to Bryan again. He cuts back, and he will pick up the first down by about 2 yards as he gets all the way out to about the 47. Brought down on the play by, looks like, Zach Robinson, his first tackle, but this drive started at the 20, Phantom, and they've got it about the 45, 2 first downs.
Yeah, Bryan just under 5 yards of carry coming in, and you can see in the first 3 carries he got stopped the first time, but the next 2 kicked it out to the outside once, and that time kind of stayed inside and broke a tackle and got a nice gain.
Xavier Bryan on the season came in 51 carries, 244 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This time they fake it to him, throw it out to the side. That's Matthew Werpy. Werpy breaks a tackle on the out route. Gets up to about the 47. They're in Hillman territory. They actually mark him down at about the 48. Good little pitch and catch. Again, play action now that they've got the run game going. And John Kett's 2 for 2.
Yeah, and the disturbing part about that is the receiver slipped out of the grasp of the Placer tackler. He was slowed down and wasn't able to totally regain his balance. But, you're going to have to, on those quick ones, you got to stop him right after the catch.
Ball is spotted at the 48 in Hillman territory. 3 receivers to the left. Ball's on the right hash. 1 receiver to the right. Kett turns, gives it to Bryan again. Bryan doesn't go anywhere. Bounces off a couple tackles, but he picked up literally nothing. As you saw, number 2, Parker Kelly, meet him at the line of scrimmage, and a great job of getting penetration by number 20, Luke Platzer.
Yeah, he needed to do that too because Bryan was hit by the first guy, slowed him down, but he wasn't going to go down until the second guy came in, and a nice gang tackle by the Hillman there to set up this 3rd down.
He's a big load, 6 foot, 210-pound senior, a lot of muscle. So it's 3rd and 3 again. Trying to go with a hard count that time. John Kett trying to get a Hillman to jump. Trips receivers to the left-hand side. Nearest receiver is on the line of scrimmage. They give it to Bryan. Breaks to the outside. He carries a tackler. That's Ivan De Silva, but he's going to come up about a yard short, and it'll bring up the first 4th down of the night, Phantom, and I'd be shocked if Kyle Landis, the offensive coordinator and head coach, doesn't go for this.
Oh, definitely he'll probably go for it. It was a good play, like you said. A fine tackle by De Silva, but Bryan got away just enough to almost get the first down, set up a 4th down and 1 here from the 46.
4th and 1, 9:23 to go, no score. Opening drive, they give it to Bryan. He's met in the backfield, but bounces off the tackle, picks up the first down. Zach Robinson hit him behind the line of scrimmage, but Bryan bounced right off of that and got all the way down to the 42. That was all Will right there.
Just what you said. That was a Will and 210 pounds, I think, right there. Excellent job by the Hillman to hit him in the backfield, but excellent job by Bryan to break that and get the first down. And a big call right there, a big 4th down for the Eagles.
Just 2 passes thrown on this first drive. Less than 9 minutes to go. They fake it this time to Bryan. Throw it out again. That's to Matthew Werpy on the out route. He's going to get a first down again and get inside the 30. Breaks a tackle. So he's 3 for 3 on the drive. He's got a pass out to Xavier Bryan and 2 fakes to the running backs. Almost an RPO action where he gets it out to Matthew Werpy. And the Vista Del Lago Eagles are driving. This drive started on their own 20. They've got it all the way down to the 29-yard line. They're on the left hash in Hillman territory. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. They give it to number 6 again inside. Breaks the tackle. He gets up. That's Jack Cromwell, the second running back we'll see. 5'11", 185 sophomore, and he picks up about 6 or 7 yards.
As you mentioned, Scott, Kett is 3 for 3, and each time he's had a little, a fine pass, but he's had a lot of room to complete those passes. That has to be worrying the coach, Rodarte, and the rest of the Hillman. A lot of space for those receivers.
Ball still on the left hash. Turn, they give it to Cromwell again. He picks his way through the hole, and it looks like he picks up a first down. He's got it down to about the 19-yard line. So this drive has been a nice balance of passes, but really a lot of strong running by Xavier Bryan and Jack Cromwell.
Yeah, you think Vista, you think passes, but they had Thomas Keegan was a good running back last year, and you can see that they've got a couple. Bryan and Cromwell, not only good runners, but breaking a lot of tackles, and the Hillman are putting some good hits on them, and they're just keeping on going.
Vista has milked the first 4 minutes of the game off as there's less than 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Ball's at the 19, spotted on the left hash. 2 receivers set right, 2 left. Give it to the running back. It's Cromwell. He's met and tackled this time by Daniel Maldonado. Does a nice job of filling the hole. Just a short gain that time. A nice stop.
Yeah, Maldonado, the leading tackler on the Hillman, followed by Parker Kelly, and he made a really good hit. And you don't see a lot of one-on-one for these running backs going down, but Maldonado basically got him down on his own.
2nd and 8 at the Placer 18. 7:29 to go. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Kett's got all day to throw. Throws it. Ball is caught. Complete. Number 10, Matt Long. Ball was a little bit behind him, but Matt Long's got strong hands, comes into this game with 12 catches for 277 yards, and it's now 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Yeah, and Long had some spaces we've talked about, but more importantly, Kett had all the time he needed. He just sat back and found the guy that he wanted to throw to and delivered it on time.
4 for 4 on this drive is John Kett. So now they're in their goal line look. They have 2 backs. They give it to the second one through. That's Matt Long. He carries the tackler down to about the 2-yard line. So it was 1st and goal from the 6. He gets down to about the 2. Brought down on the play by the defensive tackle, Justin Alba.
Yeah, Long averaging over 6 yards a carry, just 5 carries, but he does have a touchdown on the ground so far this year for the Eagles.
Ball's on the left hash. 2nd and goal from the 2. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play here, and we have a late flag. Probably a substitution infraction.
Looked like maybe the Hillman jumped.
Well, they're trying to shut down that run. John Kett is 4 for 4, but the bulk of this drive has really been by Xavier Bryan and Jack Cromwell, the running backs.
Yeah, especially on that 4th and 1.
Bryan and Long are standing next to John Kett. 1 receiver left, 2 right. They turn, they give it to Long again, and he bounces in, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Vista Del Lago Eagles with 6:44 to play here in the first quarter.
And for the second time in 4 games, Scott, the opposing team came out and ran a drive exactly the way they had it planned out. And except for the one 4th down and 1 situation, they pretty much had their way with the Hillman defense.
Drive was very reminiscent of what Casa Roble
did.
They were 3 for 3, ran it down the field. So 6-0. Extra point is up, and it is well good. So with 6:44 to play here in the first quarter, Vista Del Lago strikes first. They go up 7-0, and Phantom, pretty impressive drive. A nice mixture of passes and runs. They got Matt Long the ball. They got Xavier Bryan the ball, Jack Cromwell, Matthew Werpy, and John Kett looked very, very comfortable.
Yeah, we've talked about it the first 3 games that we've done, Scott. All 3 teams that the Hillman have played, the offense has had multiple, weapons in their arsenal, and it's tough for the Placer defense to try to key on one of them. Obviously, this one may be the most talented of all of those, along with Del Oro from last week, but you've got those 2 great receivers. Then you move Long into the backfield. You got Bryan running strong and Cromwell as well. So just a lot for the Placer Hillman to think about on defense.
John Kett looked really impressive, throwing passes from 1 hash mark all the way to the numbers on the other side. You can see why he's highly recruited. So it'll be Nico Bagatelli for the kick. This kickoff was brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them online at auburntrophies.com. They'll kick from left to right. Receiving deep will be Baylor and Parker Kelly. It looks like it will be Baylor Kelly who fields it at the goal line. He's going to take this out. No, correction, that is Kiefer Abbs. And Abbs brings it out, and he's going to be spotted at about the 18.
He didn't look really like he was convinced that that's what he wanted to do. He caught the ball on the goal line, so he could have let it go. It was an excellent kick, and then he came out to the left side. Looked like he thought something would be forming up, and it never really materialized on the left side.
So Placer will take over. 6:38 to go, first quarter. They'll move right to left on your radio dial. Ball's at the 17-yard line, spotted at the left hash. Placer in their white pants, green jerseys, green helmets. Ryan Miller's the quarterback. He turns, pitches it to, looks like Parker Kelly. Kelly on the sweep, comes upfield, picks up about 4 or 5. They ran the sweep into the boundary. He's pushed out of bounds by number 24, Nicholas Navarro.
You don't see a lot of pitch outs. You don't see a lot of pitch outs in the Hillman offense. We've seen a couple this season, but you don't see a lot of them, and that one got Kelly out to the outside pretty quickly. Picked up a sizable game.
5 or 6 yards on first down. Joey Montiel will take it every time. This time they have 2 receivers set in the slot. They turn, they gave it to the first man through, correction, second man through. That's Baylor Kelly breaking tackles. Faked it inside to the first man through, gave it to Baylor, and it looks like Baylor will be spotted with enough yardage for a first down. So a nice job by Placer. Started off at the 17. They moved it all the way out to the 28.
Yeah, good job by Kelly to go ahead and pick his way through. I mean, there's some excellent defenders. I know that we talk about Nicholas Navarro, who leads the team with 43 tackles, and then Camden King with 30 after him. And as we talked about, Coach Landis very proud of his defense.
Placer moving right to left. Ball's in the middle of the field, 28-yard line, just about 6 minutes to go. They give it inside to Parker Kelly. He's the first back through, and he picks up about 2 or 3. Just a quick give inside. He'll pick up about 3 yards.
Now, we talked about it in the pregame. Kosa Alexic is out still. Sean Jones is out. Dash Tebbs is out. So Kellys are going to have to be doing the bulk of the work, but we're going to have to check and see who Coach Joey Montoya is using to either spell them or complement them, because we're going to see some new guys out there, I think.
Probably see some Jaden Erickson as well, too.
Absolutely.
2nd and 6. Ball's at the 32. This time, Ryan Miller's going to pass. Throws it out to the side. Nice one-handed catch. No, it got knocked out of the hands. Nice job defensively by Matt Long knocking it out. It was a good little 5-yard out route. Would have been good enough for the first down. Kiefer Abbs went up. Looked like he brought it down, but Matt Long defending on the play. The nickelback broke it up.
Yeah, it would have been a sensational catch as he had to throw that one over the defender, and Abbs went right up for it, and then the combination of the defender and the ground, I think, conspired to make it incomplete. So now Placer facing a third down here in their first drive. They've had the ball for about a minute after about 5.5 minutes for the Eagles.
5:29 to go. Vista Del Lago leading this one. They give it to the first back through, and that is Parker Kelly. He's definitely going to be short of the first down. Picks up maybe 2. It'll bring up a 4th and 3. And you'd think with that call, giving it inside, maybe Joey's thinking about going for this on 4th down with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter.
That's a little risky, yeah.
Yep, jogging out the punting unit.
Yeah, here comes Kevin Martinez in the punting unit. Yeah, he tried to pass on 2nd down, and not surprised they didn't try another one and came in. And we've seen Kelly pick up a lot of 3rd downs, more than 5 yards on the season, but I think maybe the Eagles kind of expecting the same thing.
Placer got a little bit of breathing room, but we're not able to convert on 3rd down, so Kevin Martinez is on for the kick. Keep your eye on Baylor Kelly. He's the up back. Martinez gets into this one. It's a line drive kick and continues to bounce, and they're just going to go ahead and let it go. And Camden King, who was back there to receive it, lets that one go. It goes all the way inside the 20. It definitely took a Placer bounce, so that'll be at the 18-yard line where Vista Del Lago will take over.
And now we're in a situation, Scott, where last week Del Oro scored every time they had the ball except for the end of the game when they didn't score, when they kind of ran it out. And Vista has scored the first time they've had the ball. So it basically is 6 straight possessions the opposition has scored on the Hillman defense. Now, of course, that's really high class. Del Oro and Vista Del Lago are really good teams, but the Hillman have got to come up and make a stop here.
But Casa Roble and Roseville scored on their first possessions as well, too. So 4:37 to go. First quarter, Vista leading this one 7-0. 3 receivers right. They give it, though, to Brian inside. He has a nice gain. Gets all the way up about 6 yards on first down. Good little pickup there. He's brought down on the play by Daniel Maldonado.
That time he didn't have to run anybody over because that time they had a nice hole for him right up the middle of the field, and he picked up a nice gain on first down.
Just about 4 minutes to go. Ball's on the left hash. Vista operates exclusively out of the shotgun. No tight end in their set. 2 receivers left, 2 right. They will give it again to Brian inside. A little bit of a hole. Closes up pretty quickly, though. Good job by the Hillman of getting some penetration. up close to the first down marker. They're going to say it's 3rd and short. Nice job coming over to make the stop was Valentino Oristudo.
Yeah, the Eagles are doing a really good job of going ahead and keeping everything balanced. They're going to go ahead and run it as long as they can, and now he's got everybody to choose from on the passing route.
3rd and 1, they are going to give it to him. Looks like he was fighting with him on the handoff by Xavier Bryan. Actually does pick up the first down, picks up 6 yards on the 3rd and short, right in the middle of the field, and it's good for a first down for Vista. So they have continued. This drive started on the 18. They're already out to the 33. They lead this one 7-0.
And basically doing pretty much what they want, Scott, out there on the offensive end as they have through the first 2 drives now, and that's got to be disheartening to Joey and his staff over there, kind of trying to figure out a way to put a stop on these guys.
Xavier Bryan, one of the 3 captains. Andre Powers and Matt Long are the other ones. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. This time Branch lines up next to him. Cat has all day, and it passes almost intercepted, and then it's dropped. Daniel Maldonado in coverage put his hands and interfered, it looked like, and right behind him was Will Green, so it was almost intercepted, and then it was dropped. Would have been a big pickup, or it could have been a big interception for the
Helmet. It would have been a big pickup because Green was crossing the field from the left to the right side, and if Maldonado didn't get whatever he got in there to obstruct his vision, that would have been a big play for the Eagles.
Ket again with all day to throw. They send Long in motion. They give it along the left side. That's Bryan again. Bryan picks up about 4 yards on 2nd and 10, so that'll bring him a 3rd and 6. Nice job coming up from his cornerback spot to make the tackle there. Looks like Kiefer Abs.
Yeah, we have had several situations where the Hillman defenders have made a good play, a good pursuit on that one and a couple of other times, but they just have to string a couple together against a team that can attack a couple of different ways.
3rd and 7, so the first time where Vista's been a little bit off schedule. They lead this one 7-0, 2:30 to play. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Ket's going to throws a fade route. He's got a receiver out there. He just overthrew him. He had Will Green, and Green had a step on the defender, and Ket threw it more on a line drive than put some air underneath it. He puts more air. I think that's a touchdown pass.
Yeah, he threw it about 47 yards in the air, and he only needed to throw it 45 yards in the air. So the Hillman very fortunate on that one. And I don't know, with the offense that the Eagles have, it looks like they are going to go ahead and punt it, but I wouldn't be surprised after they tried it the first time to try it again. The receiver open, but a little too far on the pass.
So Ket on that drive goes 0 for 2. Overthrows Will Green and has the drop. They'll go ahead and punt it this time. Number 16, Grant Rogers to punt. Kiefer Abs back deep to return. Line drive, directional kick. It rolls out of bounds at about, they're going to spot it at the 30-yard line.
31-yard line, yeah, and that's a situation, Scott, we talked about John Ket. We talked about the completion percentage in the pregame show, and I think those are the kind of passes on that one. I mean, that was a really good play, make no mistake about it, but it's a very tough pass to complete. Yeah. It's like 45, 50 yards down the field. I have a feeling he's tried a lot of those so far, and maybe that kind of weakens the completion percentage, but it's no way a reflection of how he throws the football.
Whenever you see that, I'm reminded of what Troy Taylor told me once about Jake Brown. You got to turn the shoulders and make it fly.
Ooh, I like that.
To the moon.
I like that.
Hillman have the ball to give to the first back through. Looks like Parker Kelly. Kelly picks up 2 yards. They start at the 31. He gets it up to just 3 yards.
Well, you don't like
34.
I'm sorry, Scott. You don't like to make proclamations this early, but the Hillman did come out and they did stop Vista. So it turns that they've got to go ahead and do something with this possession.
They did give Parker Kelly just 2 yards. So with 1:50 to play here in the first quarter, Vista leading at 7-0. Hillman have the ball on the right hash. They move their tight end and slot receivers from right to left. They give it to Jaden Erickson. Erickson on the sweep. Got a lot of room, but coming up to make the stop was number 10, Matt Long, and it looked like Parker Kelly had an opportunity to block Matt Long, and he went right past him, and he came up and made the stop.
Yeah, he made contact with Matt Long, and it looked like he thought he had nudged him out of position enough, but Long, with a great recovery and dropping the ball carrier Erickson on a play that's been successful for the Hillman several times this season.
Long with the rushing touchdown on the other side, now has 2 big stops. Obviously, 5'11", 200-pound senior can play on either side of the ball at the next level. It is 3rd and 9 now, though, for the Hillman. About a minute to play here in the first quarter. Ball spotted at the 32, left hash, play action. Ryan Miller's going to drop back to pass, pump fakes, throws it out to the side. He's got 2 Kelly brothers in the area. Jaden Erickson, and Baylor Kelly, but it goes incomplete. neither one of them was open, so 2 possessions now. Placer will have to punt for the second time.
Yeah, we've noticed the past couple of weeks when Ryan Miller's gone back to pass, it seems like it's timing routes that he's trying to throw. And that time he went ahead and did the pump fake because I think he was looking to get rid of the ball, but he didn't find anybody, and then he pulled it back and kind of threw it out into no man's land. So Hillman, good job on defense, not doing too much on offense right there.
Ryan Miller 0 for 2 on the game, so that'll bring on Kevin Martinez, who does all the kicking duties. Good snap is back, kick is up. And this one will be fair caught at the 38-yard line by number 5, Camden King, and that is where the Eagles will take over in their own territory on about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, real good play by Camden King there, because if he lets that one go, it probably rolls another 15 or 20 yards, the same one that Kevin's last punt did. So good job by King. Not an easy catch to make on the run, but he made it and saved his team probably 10 or 15 yards.
Kevin Martinez took a little bit of time getting that off his foot, too. It looked like they got some pressure, so something that they'll think about. So Vista's had the ball twice, scored on their opening possession, took about 6 minutes off the clock. Their second possession picked up a first down, and then were unable to connect on 2 pass plays, had to punt. Now they've got the ball spotted on the right hash. They're going left to right on your radio dial. The quarterback is John Kett. He gives it to the first back through, Xavier Bryan, and Hillman are all over that. Great job defensively. Justin Alba and the linebacking core, they absolutely stacked the box and actually get a tackle for loss.
Yeah, we call that a trio of Hillman, and they were waiting for Mr. Bryan, and they brought him down in his tracks.
Looks like they are committing to stopping the run. This time they got a little bit of a movement, and that'll be the second offsides penalty. That time it was Ivan De Silva, a little bit too excited, jumped into the neutral zone, so it was 2nd and 11. Now becomes a more makeable 2nd and 6.
Yeah, it just makes Bryan's run a 4-yard gain, and now it's 2nd and 6, so it just wipes that off the board.
2nd and 6. That might be the last play of the first quarter. This one has breezed by in the first quarter with the running attacks on both sides. And it looks like Vista Del Lago will be content just to jog over to the sidelines as Kett walks over there to talk to his head coach, Kyle Landis. And we have wrapped up the first quarter here at Lefebvre Stadium, and it's Vista Del Lago 7, Placer nothing. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the foothills. 2nd and 6, Kett back to pass. Under a little bit of pressure, he throws it down the field. Touchdown. Great throw. Great catch that time.
Go with the number 3, Matthew Werby.
Great job that time. Kett throws it down the field. This time he put a little bit of air underneath it. Excuse me for the technical difficulties there. They went shotgun. Kett dropped back to pass. Had all day to throw. Threw it right down the middle of the field to Matthew Werby. That's his 3rd touchdown on the season. Great ball by Kett, and now Vista leads it 13-0 with the extra point up and good, and they take a 14-0 lead on Placer. Placer has Kiefer Abbs, and it looks like Baylor Kelly back deep to return. Doing the kicking will be Nico Bagatelli. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway. And as Kiefer Abbs gets it, this time he runs with a little bit more enthusiasm and gets through all the way out to the 32. And Phantom, I think that's what we were looking for on the first return. Best return of the night so far for the Hillman.
Yeah, he looked like he wanted to return that one, and once he got it in his hands, he went right up the middle. Had a little bit of a hole and kicked it through, and it got up to about, like you say, the 34-yard line.
11 minutes, 45 seconds to play here, second quarter, and Vista Del Lago leads it 14-0. Ryan Miller turns, gives it to the first back through. It's Parker Kelly who breaks a tackle behind the line of scrimmage and gets up to about the 41-yard line. Just good, hard running right there. Brought down finally on the play by Nicholas Navarre, but not before he picked up about 7 yards. Second down and 3. They give it to Parker Kelly again, and Kelly is going to be picking up the first down. So again, for the Hillman, they find themselves in a hole 14-0, Phantom, and they need to get something going offensively. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Give it to the second man through Jaden Erickson. He's got a huge hole. Nice job. Takes it all the way up to the first down sticks. He'll be either 2nd and 1 or 9-yard pickup. Nope. Gets it up. It'll be 2nd and 1 at the 46-yard line in Vista territory.
Ball spotted at the Eagle 47-yard line, 2nd down and 1.
So Placer with their deepest penetration of the night so far. The first 2 times they had the ball, they had to punt. They are going left to right on your radio dial. The ball is right in the middle of the field. 2nd and 2, they say. And a great defensive play coming up is Max Voda, number 54. And Placer doesn't go anywhere on that 2nd and 2. In fact, they lost a yard. So that'll be 3rd and maybe 3. So a very good drive for them so far. And a good defensive stop right there by the Eagles, Max Voda.
Yeah, and a big play right now on 3rd and 3, Scott, as they got a little bit of momentum with the kickoff return and then the first down. And let's see if they can back it up and try it again.
Placer trailing this one 14-0. 9 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Absolutely 4-down territory.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to do that. You're down 14-0. You got 9.5 to go here in the first half.
Ryan Miller turns, gives it to Parker Kelly. He kind of sifts his way through, runs behind the blocking of Jaden Erickson. He picks up the first down. Nice job there. They put Erickson in motion. He was the lead blocker. And Parker Kelly just put his hand right on his backside and picked up the first down. Nice run.
Did a good job like he did earlier in the game where he's picking up his blockers and picking up the hole, and he did a good job there to pick up that first down again. Another big play, 2 first downs in a row after that good kickoff return.
1st and 10, ball's at the 45-yard line, right in the middle of the field where the Placer logo is. Ryan Miller will turn. He fakes to both. He's got a play-action pass. He's looking downfield. He's going to throw, and in double coverage is Baylor Kelly, and that pass falls incomplete. So Ryan Miller trying to hit the big one. Still hasn't thrown a completed pass tonight, but trying to loosen up that defense. They go with play-action pass on first down. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 at the 45.
Yeah, and you'd hope if you're the Hillman that you've been running the ball all day. If you try that pass, you're hoping to get them by surprise a little bit, but really did not do that as you mentioned, Scott, had 2 guys on Kelly going down the middle of the field.
8 minutes, 57 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Vista Del Lago leads 14-0. They've scored on 2 of their 3 drives. They give it to Baylor Kelly on the option sweep, and he is dragged down behind the line of scrimmage by Logan Murray. A great job of just getting some penetration. So not only did he not pick up yards, but he actually lost 3. It'll bring up a 3rd and 13 for the Placer Hillman.
Yeah, a slow developing play by the Hillman, and a great job on the penetration by the Eagles. And now you're 3rd and 13, and you haven't been successful throwing the ball. So, Scott, do you go ahead and throw it, or do you think it's going to be 4-down territory and try a running play?
Well, the 3rd possession of the game for Placer, I think this is 4-down territory. Deepest penetration they have. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try to run it on 3rd down and pick it up with the pass on 4th. But Ryan Miller will come from the shotgun for the first time. He's going to look quickly. Little wide receiver screen left. Great catch that time by Kiefer Abs, who I think was going to run for a little bit, and he tripped. He lost his footing as he was trying to cut back. He picked up about 5 yards. So it looks like Joey Montoya is going to keep the offense on the field. Good play call that could have picked up some more yards.
Yeah, but good job penetrating the right side of the defensive line of the Eagles. Were coming right at Ryan Miller. He had to kind of drop down like Mahomes and throw it around them and get it to Kiefer Abs, who made an excellent catch and then turned it up. And just when he was about to do something with it, fell down.
Or do we say Jared Goff? What a game that was last night.
We could say Jared Goff, yeah.
But Mahomes does do that. You're right.
People say you look like Jared Goff. I think that's why you're saying that, right?
You mean you?
Oh, that's right,
yeah.
No, I look like Dennis Quaid.
7 minutes, 29 seconds to play, second quarter. There's a timeout on the field. We're going to go ahead and take one with them. Right now, Vista Del Lago leads Placer 14-0. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice to the Foothills. It is 14-0 in favor of the Vista Del Lago Eagles. This time Martinez gets off a very, very good kick, and there was nobody back deep to stop it. And it looks like it's going to roll And it's going to stop at the 5-yard line. So outstanding decision by Coach Montoya and a great kick by Kevin Martinez.
Yeah, great job by Martinez. Usually he kicks him a little line drive. That one he got a little bit of air underneath it, and it was the perfect time to do so. As you mentioned, nobody back to receiver for the Eagles because they weren't convinced he was going to kick it, I don't think. And a great job by the Hillman. Now they got to capitalize on this great field position that Martinez has given them.
Placer's had the ball 3 times. They've punted on all 3. Vista's had the ball 3 times. They've scored 2 touchdowns and punted on 1. This is by far their worst starting field position. They are at the 6-yard line, going right to left on your radio dial, right in the middle of the field. 2 back sets, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They give it to the second back through. Hard running by Xavier Bryant. He gets out over the 10-yard line. A good first down pickup of about 6 yards.
And you'd think you got a team backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost. You can go ahead and, bring people up in the box and stop that run. But with Vista, you can't do that because you got to guard all 4 wide receivers when they're spread out.
2 running backs in the backfield with John Kett. They give it to the running back again. That's Xavier Bryant. Bryant gets another 2-3 yards there. So they had the ball at their own 5. They've had 2 running plays. Brings up a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, critical 3rd and 3 here because I don't think Coach Landis is going to try it down in this deep in his own territory. So let's see what they do on 3rd down.
Vista leading this one 14-0. They tried to get the Hillman to jump, and they got back. It looked like he went with the hard count. Operating out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. 2 running backs. And Kyle Landis is going to go ahead and call his first timeout. Two receivers right, 2 left. They give it to Brian again. It looks like Brian picks up the first down pretty easily. He gets up a pickup of 4. So good little adjustment there by Kyle Landis. He had 2 backs in, which kept the backers in. He went 4 wides, still gave it to Xavier Bryant, who's been an impressive running back tonight.
Yeah, he's gotten every yard he's needed to get. If he needs 3, he gets 4. So exactly what he's supposed to do.
Eagles have the ball on their own 17-yard line. 6 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the second quarter, and this time they give it to Jack Cromwell, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Nice job from his defensive position there by Ivan De Silva, wrapping him up and putting him down, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, great job by the Hillman. We've talked about it on several occasions during the game so far, Scott. They come up with the big plays as they just did right there, and now they've got to come back and they've got to do it again against a team that has so many weapons.
5 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Placer trailing this one 14-0. 2 receivers left, 2 right. John Kett all day to throw. Throws it over the middle. It's complete to Matt Long. That was way too easy, Phantom. A little skinny post route all the way up to the 40-yard line. Good little pitch and catch. And John Kett on the night is 6 for 8.
Yeah, similar in a way to the pass that was dropped earlier when they were going the other way, as far as a guy crossing across the middle and right between the defenders, and Kett puts it in there perfectly.
One of Phantom's keys to the game was get pressure on Kett. So far has not materialized. The ball is all the way out to the 40-yard line. This time Kett will give it to the running back. It's Cromwell. Cromwell has a big run, and he's deep in Placer territory all the way down to the 35 before he's finally wrestled to the ground by Landon Fowler. And so far, back-to-back big plays. This drive started at their own 5-yard line. They are all the way down to the Placer 35.
Yeah, and a lot of the runs that the Eagles have done so far, the Hillmen have been right there to come right at him and made him earn the yards. That time, Cromwell didn't see a defender for about 15 yards until he got into defensive backfield.
They spot Vista at the 34. 3 receivers right. Kett will operate out of the shotgun. He gives it, fakes it. He's going to jog to the right. Throws the receiver in the flat, who was covered well by Parker Kelly, but we got a flag deep, and it looks like they're going to get Daniel Maldonado for roughing the passer, which is going to give them 15 yards, and that is the call. Phantom, that is their 3rd penalty of the night on Placer.
Yeah, and that one was a good, as you say, the fake it to the line, and Maldonado picked it up very well, and he put the pressure on. Great defensive back play over there in the flats, and so he had to throw it away, and then the Hillmen make a big mistake.
Well, tack 15 yards onto that, and obviously Coach Eric Rodardi is not happy at all with the call. Very frustrated. This drive for Vista Del Lago started at their own 5. The ball now goes all the way down to the 16-yard line, right in the middle of the field. Vista already leads this one 14-0. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Placer does get it in the second half. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Looks like Xavier Bryant right behind Kett. They give it to him. He picks up a short gain. Great job of wrapping him up that time by Ivan De Silva, and he knocked the ball loose. And the turnover that the Placer Hillman needed, they get as De Silva knocks it loose. It looks like Landon Fowler's the man who comes up with it from his safety spot. And a very necessary turnover as Placer now has the ball. 4:34 to go and all timeouts here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we mentioned the yards a little hard to come by up the middle of the Placer defense. Great play by the Hillman there, and they didn't want to let go into the halftime down 21-0. Obviously, still 4.5 minutes to go, but that was looking kind of grim and a big play. We talked about it earlier in the half. They needed to make a big play on defense. They got to stop a couple of possessions ago, and they just made the turnover right there.
Outstanding play by De Silva. So now Placer will take over on their own 16. Going left or right on your radio dial. They give it to the second back through Jaden Erickson. He's got it around the outside, and he picks up a first down. They get a great lead block that time. He's pushed out of bounds by Nick Braver, but not before he picks up about 11 yards.
Yeah, sent a couple of guys through the line, a couple of decoys through the line there, and a nice run by Erickson. We've seen him, Scott, the past couple of weeks having to take more of a role of prominence, and he's really good on those sweeps, and he was on that one.
Hard runner, had a 27-yard touchdown run last week. Runs really well, so that's the injection of energy that Placer needs. Ball is all the way up to the 27. This time they give it to Baylor Kelly. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, gets about 3 yards. That'll show us 3 yards on the stat sheet, but he actually broke a tackle in the backfield to get it up. Brought down on the play by the safety, Matthew Werpy.
Yeah, Baylor Kelly coming into this game with over 300 yards and 6 yards per carry, and it's clear that Vista has keyed on him and identified him as the person they've got to go out there and they've got to stop.
About 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Vista Del Lago leading this one 14-0. They've had 4 possessions. They fumbled on 1, punted on 1, and scored touchdowns on 2. This is the 4th possession for Placer, and they jumped a little bit early, so now they'll be against the sticks. They have 4 penalties in the first half on Placer, none so far on Vista. And when you have an opportunity with their offense, those penalties can be killers.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. It's got execution. And, a false start penalty is just, you can't, if you can't get the play off, you can't make it a successful one. And you're putting yourself behind the sticks. You're putting a couple of positive plays, and then you have a negative play, 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing.
Both teams have taken a timeout. 3 minutes, 33 seconds to play. 2 receivers set left. Ball is spotted on the left hash. Ryan Miller will drop back to pass. Steps up, looking for a lane. He's not going to go too far. Lorenzo Becerra tackles him. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like he lost a yard. He looked like he had some time in the pocket, Phantom, and then he tried to step up and make a run with it. Yeah,
just about to observe that. He went back and he had time, and, he's still a guy playing his, 3rd game as a varsity quarterback against some really good competition, and it just doesn't look like he could, if his first guy isn't available, he's not able to find his second.
In his 3rd game, but found out the Wednesday before the Roseville game that he would start, so only had 1 day of practice.
Exactly.
3 last week, and then you get the walkthrough 3 this week. He's going on about 8 days of practice. Nonetheless, it is 3rd and 14 from their own 24. Play action this time. Miller throws it downfield into coverage. It's intercepted by Matt Long. Comes back. He was quadruple covered. It looks like Long's going to take it all the way to the house, and he is. So when it looks like Placer had a great opportunity to do something offensively, it's Matt Long with his 3rd interception of the season. Outstanding job of high-pointing the ball and then turned and ran it into the end zone. So a pick 6. And right now, Vista leads this one 20-0 pending the extra point.
Yeah, good coverage by the Eagles on that one. Long, one of the 3 defenders who was around the ball, and he actually intercepted it running away from the quarterback, got it, and then went around the right side, and nobody able to recover and put any kind of pressure on him until he got inside the 5.
Really just 1 receiver in the route, 4 defenders, a nice job by Long. So coming on to make these attempted his 3rd extra point will be Nico Bagatelli. It is up. It's got plenty of leg. And so with 2:37 to go here in the second quarter, Vista Del Lago leading this one 21-0, Phantom, with 2:37 to go. One bit of positive news we do want to pass along. We want to congratulate the Placer junior varsity team getting their first win today, 43-20.
Yeah, they look very good. Got here a little bit early, and they look very good out there. It looks, you can tell the difference between these two teams is when, Vista has 4 receivers in the pattern, and you can't really double team any of them, and Placer with 1 or 2 receivers in the pattern, and it looks like whatever pattern they run, the Eagles pretty much been studying films, and they're ready. They know exactly what's going to happen.
4th time they've played each other in 3 years.
Yeah.
They've watched a lot of tape.
Yep.
They have put a lot of tape out there, and Coach Joey Montoya just took his play card and slammed it against the ground. Very frustrated as Vista leads this one 21-0. On with the kickoff. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them online at auburntrophies.com. I get to repeat that because the Vista Del Lago was offsides on the kickoff.
Well,
first penalty of the game against Vista.
there you go, and that's going to now they're going to move back 35. So now, you'll get it on the 5 or 10-yard line. Maybe Abs can make something out of a return.
Kiefer Abs back deep to return. Baylor Kelly. Abs had a great return the last time. Got it out past the 30. Nico Bagatelli, who is 3 for 3 on extra points, 18 for 18 on the season. He has 4 touchbacks in his right leg. Got a little counsel from his teammate right there, Carson Angelisi.
Probably told him not to go offsides.
It's a poignant comment.
Yeah,
actually.
it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right on the money.
21-0 Vista. They kick it off. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Caught by Kiefer Abs. Abs runs it right into the middle of the field and gets it up to about the 30-yard line. And that is where the Placer Hillman will start. Phantom, this will be their 5th possession of the game. They've punted 3 times and had a turnover on 1. They get the ball first in the second half, and you can't emphasize this enough. This is a huge drive.
Yeah, it is, and maybe this is the most sputtering I've seen their offense this year. In the first game they only had 7 points, but they turned it over a bunch of times and were inside the 20 4 times, so they were moving the ball. But today it really seems like a little clunk. They've had a couple of good run plays. Erickson had a good sweep, and Kelly's had a couple of good runs. But for the most part, Vista's had an answer for everything the Hillmen have tried.
In that first game you talked about, they did not punt. They go with Jaden Erickson in motion. They give it to Baylor Kelly on the counter, and that is absolutely sniffed out. Great defensive play there. Brandon Nasworth, the defensive tackle spot, does a nice job. So 1st and 10 is now 2nd and 15, and you get the sense that this Vista defensive front is just imposing their will.
Yeah, they're just teeing off, and I think Brandon Nasworth that you mentioned, I think he was one of the guys that Kyle Landis also mentioned in the talk we had earlier this week. He said this is the guy that people are sleeping on. He's one of the best players we have.
2nd and 15. Ball's on the right hash. Little play action. They throw it out to the side. It was dropped by Baylor Kelly. He tried to run before he caught it. Would have picked up about 5 or 6 yards, but it was a good throw. Unfortunately, Kelly was unable to come up with it, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 12. Ball spotted at the 28.
Yeah, it's an old saying, but it's a true saying. When your quarterback's, struggling, you got to go ahead and help him out a little bit. And then, unfortunately, in that case, Kelly had, as you mentioned, probably had his eyes and mind downfield about 10 yards when the ball got to him.
Kelly's been hit hard multiple times. So far on the night, Ryan Miller, just 1 completion, does have the interception. So it is 3rd and 12. 1 minute, 54 seconds to play here in the first half. It's been all Vista. They lead this one 21-0. Placer has the ball in their own 28, going left to right. Ball's on the right hash. 2 receivers set left. Miller fakes to them. He's got some time. Steps up. Now he runs out of time, runs into the line, and he will go down for the sack. Looks like he ran forward. There were 3 or 4 receivers deep in there, but he takes the sack, and it looks like Placer will go ahead and have to punt it again.
Yeah, that's the 2nd time in a row, Scott. It looks like he's gone back. He's had time, but then stepped into the pressure that the Eagles have put up there. So now the Eagles are going to have a real good chance here after the punt. We assume by Kevin Martinez, they're going to have the ball at about the 40 or 45-yard line, we would assume. So they're going to have a chance with 1.5 minutes to go in this half to put another one up on the board.
And Kyle Landis did take his 2nd time out. We'll go ahead and take it with him. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the foothills. 1 minute, 35 seconds to play in the first half. Placer trailing Vista Del Lago 21-0. Scott Gordon alongside Mark the Phantom Lowe, and Kevin Martinez is out to punt for the 4th time in the first half for Placer. Low snap, he grabs it, gets a line drive kick into it. Camden King is deep, and he is not going to feel that it lands on about the 38-yard line, and we do have an injured Hillman at about the 48. We don't know exactly what happened, but he's down and the training staff's coming out. But Vista will take over in pretty good field position. 1:26 to go, and they have a timeout, leading this one 21-0.
Yeah, another good kick by Martinez. That, as you mentioned, got the line drive, but at least it was a line drive away from the single back who was back there to return it. So they got a nice little roll in there and stopped the chance that there would be any kind of a return. So very effective kick by Kevin Martinez.
Kiefer Abbs, the injured player, comes off the field. Obviously, that would be tough because Dash Tebbs is already out, the other fine receiver for Placer. And Vista right now has the ball spotted on the right hash. They're going right to left on your radio dial, leading this one 21-0. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. John Kett. Back goes out, so 5 wide now. Drops back to pass. 3-step drop. Plenty of time. No, he steps up and he goes down. Great job on this defensive line as he tried to step up by Ivan De Silva. And that clock will continue to run. Loss of 1 on the play brings up a 2nd and 11. This time Kett gets it. Looks left the whole way. Fires it out there to Will Green. Will Green makes the catch. He's pushed out of bounds. Pickup of about 80, excuse me. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, good job by the Hillman on first down there. They got that pass rush, and it seemed that Kett did step up to where the Hillmen were, but good job to get their first sack of the game.
First time they went to that empty look, we have not seen it again. This time they have 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The running back standing at the right of John Kett is Xavier Bryan, the 6', 210-pound senior. Kett's going to throw, looking right the entire way. He throws it out here to Matthew Werpy. He catches it, picks up the first down, and he's brought down on the play by David Briggs, but not before they move the sticks and pick up another first down. Looks like Briggs was in position to make the play.
Yeah, he was right there on him and brought him down right away.
Kett will throw again. Throws over the middle. Green's got plenty of space, and he dropped it. You can't drop a ball in any better than that, as Kett learned his lesson the first time. One-on-one route. He had Will Green going against Baylor Kelly, and Green was wide open. He dropped it right in his hands, and that's an incomplete pass. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Can't overemphasize, Scott, the guys on the Hillman were playing both ways like a Baylor Kelly. They've had to chase receivers. He's ran the ball, so he's going to be ready for that halftime. And Kett trying to seek out somebody like that, and he sends Green down the sideline, almost makes the big connection.
Kett on the game is 8 for 11 and has 1 touchdown pass. They do go to that empty set. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Kett drops back to pass, looks left the whole way. They go right back to the exact same play, and this time it's pretty well defended by Baylor Kelly, and Kett overthrew Will Green, so it'll be a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it was probably there again. It was overthrown a little bit. Another 2 Placer defensive backs in the area, but Kett just laying it out there a little bit too far. But what's disturbing for the Hillman is that these guys are open, and the routes they're running, they're getting open, and it's just an overthrown pass that keeps it from being a completion.
Ball's at the 50-yard line on the left hash. Vista Del Lago is going right to left. 38 seconds to go. They lead it 21-0. 2 receivers right, 2 left. They go to the ground. It's Bryan. Bryan runs up. Flag comes down, usually where you see a hold. And Bryan is brought down at the 46. So it either will be 4th and 6 around the 46, or it'll be 3rd and 20. I think if you're Joey Montoya right now, you might want to decline this. Block in the back, and they will accept it and bring it back, so it'll be 3rd, and he's going with field position here all the way back to the 46.
Yeah, I had a play similar to that in the Del Oro game, Scott, when they declined the penalty and gave Pinnock the ball with a 4th down and 3, and he went ahead and did not punt, and they went for it, and they converted, and that was a big play in that game. So I think Joey's going ahead and take this one and make him go a little bit further.
And Vista Del Lago is letting the clock run down. I have a sense they will let this run down to about 5 seconds, maybe call their last timeout and run a play. They come up, though, 3 receivers right. Will Green is one-on-one with Kiefer Abbs to the left. They give it to Bryan. Bryan's got a little bit of room, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, keeps churning his legs and gets it all the way up to the 49. And that's it. That'll wrap up the first half, and it was all Vista Del Lago. They got the ball early. They scored. They lead this one 21-0. We'll come back. We'll give you some scores from around the area, look at some first-half highlights. But it's been all Vista at this point. We are at halftime at Lefebvre Field. It is Vista Del Lago 21 and your Placer-Hillman nothing. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the Foothills. Baylor Kelly and Kiefer Abbs back deep to return. Kicking off for Vista Del Lago will be Nico Bagatelli. This kickoff is brought to you, as all are, by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway. 21-0 in favor of Vista. We are underway here in the second half. It'll be Kiefer Abbs again. He fields it right at the goal line, runs up to the wall, good little separation there, and he's going to get up to about the 23-yard lines before he's brought down by a whole host of blue and white. Making the tackle on the play was number 21, Carson Angeli.
Well, it looked like Kiefer is trying to pick his spots on that one, and really not a lot of spots to pick as the special teams for the Eagles were kind of spread along like a picket fence there and nowhere for him to go, and he's got it out to the 22-yard line.
So imagine it was a pretty spirited halftime discussion with head coach Joey Montoya, 17th season. Placer will start off at their own 22. Ball's on the right hash. They give it to Baylor Kelly. Kelly's got a little bit of room. Nice job. Picks up about 5 yards off the right side. And the Placer line got a good push right there.
Yeah, he picked up about 5 yards, then he got hit, and he kind of flew another 2 yards, so a big gain up into about the 29-yard line, so give him 7.
Gave him 7 yards, so 2nd and 3. A good pickup to start things off. Placer in the first half punted 4 times and had the interception on the pick 6. So they did move the ball deep into across the 50-yard line into Vista territory. They like to do that again. This time they give it to Parker Kelly. He's picking his way, and it looks like he's up and will be spotted enough for the first down. So 2 plays, 2 Kelly brothers, and that will move the chains for a first down for Placer.
Yeah, the amazing Kelly brothers were our second key to the game, and as we mentioned, it looked like Vista definitely keying on Baylor and also on Parker, so yards hard to come by, but a good job right there to get the first down.
Ball's on the right hash. First drive of the second half. Vista leading this one 21-0. They give it to the motion man. It was Baylor Kelly. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and literally drags a defender 2 yards, and he'll go another 3. Picked up 3 on first down. They're going to mark him with 4, but that was all effort there.
Yeah, and might need a new jersey because I think that one got stretched out because the defender grabbed the jersey and kind of held him back, but he was able to get 4 yards.
Kind of a big brother, little brother situation.
It was.
2nd and 6, still on the right hash. They give it to Jaden Erickson around the end, and he's not going to find any room. Lorenzo Becerra comes in and does a nice job of getting him down. He's actually going to lose a couple yards. This will bring up a 3rd and 7.
That's that penetration we were talking about, Scott. And you know when a team doesn't think you can pass the ball, especially if you're a team known to run the ball, they're liable to just keep sending waves of players, and that's exactly what they did that time.
10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Placer trails this one 21-0. 3rd and 7 from the 36. Ryan Miller, the junior quarterback, jogs out to the huddle. Placer huddles about 2 yards behind the ball. Turning around from his center spot is Justice Alba. They put Kelly in motion. They fake it to him, give it to Jaden Erickson inside. He's got plenty of room for the first down on the inside counter play. Good hard run. First down by Placer.
Yeah, and give credit to Ryan Miller. Some pretty good ball handling right there because you really didn't know who had the ball. And Erickson, the first guy through, breaks it through for the first down, which the Hillmen desperately needed.
This drive started at the 23 of the Hillmen. They are out to the 47 of the Eagles. All runs so far. And trying to get a quick start there was Freddie Billings, and he jumps offside. So, again, Placer gets a little bit of momentum, and then one of those costly 5-yard penalties.
Yeah, it was at the third false start, I think, and they probably have 2 or 3 on the other side of the ball jumping across the line on defense. So that's almost a half a dozen plays as far as getting plays started.
Was 1st and 10 at the 47. It's now 1st and 15 at the 42. 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Ball is spotted at the right hash. Put Baylor Kelly in motion. Give it to him on the second one through, and he's caught in the backfield. Looks like Max Voda was there. That was the play they started the second half with and didn't surprise anybody. So they lose another 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 16.
Yeah, that was the play. It was odd, Scott, because usually you don't see that much daylight between the quarterback and the running back when he's coming through. And that time, Kelly got the ball a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it took a long time for that play to develop.
First drive of the second half. Vista leads at 21-0. 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Placer has picked up 2 first downs, but then had a false start penalty and went in the negative direction on second down on their first play. They give it to Parker Kelly. He runs hard. He breaks off the left side. Great run, and he gets into Vista territory, crossing the 50-yard marker, and a nice 7-8 yard run that time by Parker Kelly.
Yeah, good job by Kelly, and they're going to put that down right at midfield, so that's going to set up a 3rd and 7. So you're pretty grim on 2nd and 16. You make the nice run, and again, we've talked about it a couple times tonight, Scott. Don't know if this is going to be considered 4-down territory or not right now here in the third quarter.
A lot of this will depend on how they do on 3rd down. So 3rd and 7, as Phantom said, it's right at the 50. Near the left hash mark. They are going left or right on your radio dial. They give it to Baylor Kelly on the counter. He picks up 4 and spins his way down to about the 46. It'll be a 4th and 3 with Placer trailing 21-0. You got the sense that Joey Montoya will be going for this.
Yeah, I think so. It's like you say, it's right outside the 46. They've got to get right outside the 43. So it's an even 3 yards, and obviously a big play here with a 21-0 deficit and 7:20 to go here in the third quarter.
First drive of the second half. Hillman have run almost 5 minutes off the clock. It is 4th and 3. Ball's on the left hash. 46-yard line in Vista territory. Ryan Miller turns. He gives it to Parker Kelly, who picks up the first down easily. Great job putting a man in motion, having an extra blocker right there. And they have picked up their 3rd first down of the second half, all of them on the ground.
Yeah, you needed a hold there to run through, get the first down, and they picked up 5 yards and give the offensive line on that right side credit because they made the hole.
6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Placer has the opening drive of the second half. They do trail by 21, but they are on the move. This drive started at their own 23-yard line. It is now at the Vista 41. They break the huddle. They're in split backs. Baylor Kelly is in the slot. They fake it. They give it to Baylor around the end. He's got a lot of room around the corner, and he's going to get upfield. Breaks the tackle. He's down inside the 30. Another first down before Matthew Werpy makes the tackle, but moved the chains again. Another first down for Placer.
A real good play by the Hillman, as you mentioned. When he got it, there was a lot of daylight. Give Vista credit a little bit on the defense for the pursuit. They got over it, but not until Baylor Kelly turned in a real big gain for the Hillman.
So Placer converts on the 4th and 3, and then goes to Baylor Kelly for the outside sweep. They've run 6 minutes off the clock. Still trail 21-0, but they are moving. Ball's on the right hash. One back is Parker Kelly. They send Jaden Erickson in motion. Give it to Baylor Kelly inside, and that play's just not going anywhere. Nice job from his defensive line spot as Max Voda also helping out on the play is Brandon Nasworth, who's had a nice game defensively for the Eagles.
Yeah, Coach Landis told us about Nasworth, and he has lived up to expectations, but the Hillman, you want to see them the best sustained drive they've had so far in this game, and you want to see them be able to cap it off. You mentioned that they've taken time off the clock, but if you don't put points on the board, that's kind of an empty thing.
In the first half, they had 5 possessions, punted 4 times through the pick 6. This is their first possession of the second half. Deepest penetration so far. 2nd and 11. They are at the Vista 29. One back is Parker Kelly. They fake it to him, give it to Baylor. Baylor's going to try to get around the end, but he's met at the 34. A whole host of Eagles are there, led by Nick Braver, the senior, comes up and actually brings him down for a loss of 3 yards. So it was 1st and 10 at the 29. It's now going to be 3rd and about 15 back at the 33.
Yeah, it's not a good sign when you get the ball on a sweep and there's 4 of the defenders before you can get back to the line of scrimmage. So the type of saying they sniffed that play out, probably an understatement.
He got the handoff and was immediately met like it was a committee meeting there on the 30-yard marker.
Yeah, you do meetings. I don't really do meetings.
You Zoom, though, don't you?
I do Zoom, but I don't.
Oh, you take Lola for a walk.
I don't know how to turn it on, so
yeah.
I'm a problem.
And Joey Montoya will take his first time out, and we'll go ahead and take it with him. This is still the first drive of the second half. You are listening to Placer football on KAHI, AM and FM, your voice of the Foothills. 4:24 to play, third quarter. Vista Del Lago leads 21-0 over the Placer Hillman. First drive of the second half. Scott Gordon alongside Mark, the Phantom Lowe. And Phantom, Placer started at their own 23. This has been one of their more impressive drives. They've had the ball the entire third quarter. They have a 3rd and 15 at the Vista 33-yard line.
Yeah, and we don't have to worry about whether it's 4-down territory. We know it is, but as you mentioned in one of the drives earlier, you don't know if they're going to go ahead and try to throw on 3rd and run on 4th, or if they'll go ahead and look to just keep the ball on the ground for both downs.
This entire drive has been on the ground. Ryan Miller has one completion on the game. He turns to the second back through is Baylor Kelly. He's breaking tackles, but he is met by Trevor Kestner. The linebacker pushes him back, and he got maybe 4 yards. So this is going to be a 4th and 11 at the 29.
Yeah, he had a little bit of room, but able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but then met by, like you say, 2 or 3 of the Eagles defenders. And let's see what Coach Montoya pulls out of his magic hat here on 4th and 11.
Well, Placer's run 8 minutes off the clock here in the third quarter, but they want to finish with some points. It is 4th and 11 at the 29. Ball is spotted at the right hash. They are going left to right on your radio dial. 3 receivers set left. Ryan Miller back to pass. Throws a screen back. Sniffed out very, very well by Nick Braver. He's tackled for a loss. And the Vista Del Lago Eagles have held, and their offense is jogging on the field.
Just not a lot of options for the Hillman on that one as Miller went back to pass. He had 3 guys in his space, so he wasn't going to have a lot of time. Fortunately, the play was called for a quick screen back to the other side, but 2 or 3 more of the Eagles waiting for that play as well.
You got to understand the design of the play. They try to screen pass in the boundary to try to get him in space. It just didn't work. So now Vista takes over. They go right back to the ground. Xavier Bryan with the pickup. He gets about 5. 3:30 to play. Third quarter. Vista leads at 21-0.
I don't know what the numbers will say, whether they'll bear me out, but Bryan running about as hard as anybody we've seen so far this year, and we've seen some good running backs.
Came into the game, 51 carries, 244 yards, and tonight has rushed the ball. Gets 5 or 6 yards on every carry. John Kett will operate out of the shotgun. Ball's at the 38. Gives it to Bryan again. This time, I jinxed him. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. And great play defensively by Ivan De Silva, who's really played a nice job on the defensive line.
I'm sorry, Scott. Don't jinx. Don't say you jinxed him. Just give Ian De Silva the credit for coming up with another big defensive play. He's already caused 1 fumble in this one, and he made a big play right there.
3rd and 4th to 38. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Vista going right to left on your radio dial. John Kett gets the play and then looks back over at Kyle Landis, the head coach and offensive coordinator. Running back is Jack Cromwell, stands to his right. They turn, they give it to the running back. Not much room, but he bounces it outside, picks up the first down easily. Juice Landon Fowler at midfield and gets it all the way down to the 45. He's finally brought down on the play by Luke Platzer. There is a flag down on the play, though, so let's see if this is going to come back.
Well, you talked about he didn't have much room. He didn't have much room in the middle, but bounced it outside, and there was virtually nobody out there to stop him, and he ripped off the big gain. But let's see what the penalty is.
Nice job of bouncing it outside, but the referees are talking about it. Let's see what the call is.
Haven't had a lot of conversations tonight. Every penalty's been pretty straightforward.
Which
it's
we like.
Offsides or false start.
There was a roughing the passer. And they actually gave the 15 yards, unlike the Roosevelt game.
They're waving it off.
Waving the flag off. So no penalty. Big pickup, first down. It was a 3rd and 3. Now the ball's down at the 45-yard line. Vista in Placer Hillman territory. First drive of the second half for Vista. They lead it 21-0. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play here in the third quarter. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Running back is Jack Cromwell. He is behind John Kett. He throws it out to the side. Little RPO action to Matt Long, and Long breaks the tackle and takes it all the way down to the 25. Great job by Long there, as that pass was a little bit behind him.
A little behind him, and also had a little defensive presence there trying to swat that one down. Barely missed trying to get that one, and then Long got it and made a nice cutback and made a nice gain. I thought he might go for a little bit further, too.
Luke Platzer there defensively. You obviously had the big interception in the Roseville game that flipped the momentum of that. Ball's on the right hash, so 3 receivers set left for Vista. 1 to the right. Running back is right next to John Kett. Drops back to pass, got plenty of time. He's going to run upfield and get past the line of scrimmage and get a yard. It's almost like he had a clock in his head, 1,000, 2,000. We didn't see what he liked. He took off and just picked up a yard.
Well, it's not Caden Pinnock back there when it comes to making his way through the defense. He does seem to step up into pressure a little bit and allow the Hillman to get a shot at him. And a big play right there for Placer to set up a 2nd and 9.
John Kett, 9 for 13 with a touchdown on the night. This time they come out traditional spread. And is Bryant behind him. They give it to him. He breaks through the line of scrimmage. He gets all the way down to the 10-yard line in the secondary. They had 2 receivers right, 2 left. They turned around and gave it to Bryant, who's now over 100 yards on the game. Clock continues to move. Less than a minute to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and if you hit him, he's going to keep going. But if you don't hit him, he's really going to keep going. And that's what happened on that big game.
They cannot get a first down. They spot it just inside the 10. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Give it to Bryant inside. He hits the hole. He hits it hard. He breaks the tackle. He's down all the way. They're going to mark him at about the 2. A good 1st and goal run, 7-yard pickup for Vista. They have it 2nd and goal at the 2, leading this 21-0. Just about 20 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
Again, an excellent balance on the drive by the Vista Del Lago Eagles, mixing the run, mixing the pass in when they need to.
They give it to Brian. Brian with a head of steam goes down, and he is in the end zone on what will probably be the last play of, will not be the last play of the third quarter. And Placer looked like they had an opportunity to put some points on the board. Vista stopped them. Vista goes down the field on a good mix of pass, mostly runs. And Xavier Bryan picks up his 4th touchdown of the season. And now Vista leads this one 27-0. 13 seconds to play in the third quarter. The extra point is on, and he remains perfect on the season. Nico Bagatella, he is now 19 for 19. And Phantom, it is 28-0 in favor of Vista. So 28-0 in favor of Vista Del Lago. 13 seconds to play here in the third quarter. It'll be Nico Bagatella with the kick. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Right-footed kicker gets into this one. Be the first time we'll see Baylor Kelly return a kick. Catches it at about the 5, accelerates up the field. Correction, that is Kiefer Abbs. They switch sides on him, try to get Baylor the ball, and Kiefer Abbs takes it up to the 29, and that's where Placer will take over.
Yeah, and Kiefer Abbs has had a couple of times tonight that he looked like he slipped on that one as well, as he is making a good return. He did that a couple of times earlier in the game, so hopefully he's okay. He comes off the field moving a little bit slowly.
Yeah, he does come off a little bit gingerly. Placer will take over. They are going left to right on your radio dial. This will probably be the final play of the third quarter. Ball's at the 29 on the left hash. They send Jaden Erickson in motion. Fake it to both of them. Ryan Miller's going to throw it down the field. He is under pressure, and he goes down and slips. Was trying to get the ball deep down the field, and that will be the final play of the third quarter as Baylor Kelly remains down on the field. So after 3, it is Vista Del Lago 28, Placer nothing. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the foothills. Scott Gordon alongside Mark the Phantom Lowe, and first play of the fourth quarter is an inside give to Parker Kelly. He's met in the backfield, and he doesn't pick up. He might have gotten a yard, so that'll be 2nd and 14. It is third down, actually. Correction.
It should be third.
It's third. The first play of the drive was the Ryan Miller sack.
Right.
Then they went to Parker Kelly. He got 1 yard, and now it's 3rd and 14, 11:32 to go. And it looks like Placer's going to take a timeout. 11 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Placer's got it on their own 23-yard line. They're going right to left on your radio dial. They break the huddle. Ryan Miller's got split backs behind him. He fakes them both. Looks downfield. Steps up. He's got a big lane to run. He's going to take off and try to get some yards. He breaks a couple of tackles before he's knocked down by Matthew Werpy. Very tough run that time by Ryan Miller. He's happy about it, but he picked up 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 4th and 6.
Yeah, that's one of the first times he's got away from anybody when he's able to dip inside. Used the referee very cleverly as a blocker right there and got to, faked one way around the ref and went the other way and made a nice pickup, but it's still going to be time for Kevin Martinez.
And good news, Baylor Kelly jogging onto the field with a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up, but he's up because he's the up man. So Kevin Martinez will punt for the 5th time tonight. Back deep to return will be number 5, Camden King for Vista. Martinez gets into this one pretty good. It's a line drive kick. It'll continue to roll. Camden King's going to let it roll, and it's going to turn out to be a very, very nice, one of the best things offensively for Placer tonight, you hate to say it, has been their punting, as it's really shifted field position.
Yeah, and give credit to the entire special teams unit because they got there so quickly that King couldn't go ahead and try to pick up on that line drive. He had to let it roll past him and got an extra 15 yards for the Hillman. So, yeah, you're right, Kevin Martinez, his net gain is very good tonight from the punting position.
So 10 minutes and 4 seconds to go. We're in the 4th quarter here at Lefebvre Stadium. Scott Gordon alongside Mark the Phantom Lowe, and it looks like there was a penalty on the play, and that'll be tacked on. It was holding against Vista Del Lago, so it'll be half the distance as the ball was spotted inside the 20. So they'll take over deeper inside their own territory, closer to looks like they'll walk it back to about the 15.
Yeah, taking a grab probably at one of those special team guys that was getting down there so fast, and they reached out and grabbed him. So tack on an extra 10 against the Eagles.
They do march it back. So Vista will go left to right on your radio dial. They lead at 28-0. 10:04 to play here in the 4th quarter. It's been John Kett. The quarterback's done a nice job tonight. Throwing it to Matthew Werpy, Will Green, Matt Long. It's been a lot of Xavier Bryan running the ball effectively. Ball is spotted right in the middle of the field. This time it's Jack Cromwell in the backfield. Kett will operate from the shotgun. Gives it to Cromwell. Cromwell is tackled at the line of scrimmage. Nice job of coming down from his safety or linebacker spot is Parker Kelly, and he gets up limping.
Yeah, you think initially he's got down 20 or ahead 28-0. We're going to see a lot of whoever the running back would be. Was thinking it would be Bryan, and Cromwell's in there now, but you'd think that would be the idea for the Eagles to just run time off the clock.
Pickup of just 1. Kett trying to get the defensive line to move. They do, but they get back in time. Now they adjust, and it looks like Cromwell will move to his left side. He's out in the route. This pass, though, is complete over the middle. A little nice pitch and catch on the curl route. That's Dominic Rostani. We thought we might see a little bit more of him. He's got 2 catches on the year, 1 for a touchdown, 3rd catch of the season. First down for the Eagles.
Yeah, and just another one, as we said in the first quarter, Scott, just a wide cushion, an open throw by Kett. Nobody around the receiver.
Good little concept, running back out to the left, a curl route underneath, and defender can only take one of them. Now it's on the left hash. They give it this time to, it looks like Cromwell. Cromwell breaking tackles and getting up to about the 45-yard line. Correction, that's number 15, Ethan Jones, the running back.
And looking very impressive in what I think is his first carry of the day. He had some room, but he also made a nice cutback and evaded a couple of defenders.
Ethan Jones, nice first down run that time. Vista again moving the ball, leading this one 28-0. It's been all Vista. Just under 9 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Fake it this time to him. John Kett has all day, throws it out to the side to Werpy. Werpy breaks the tackle and gets up to about the 50. Nice job defensively by Luke Platzer.
Yeah, good job by the Placer defensive backs. As Kett looked over and he really had an idea who he wanted to throw to. Wasn't able to do so and had to go ahead and settle for Werpy about 5 yards down the field.
Penalty on the play. And it looks like it will be an eligible receiver down the field. That's what happens when you have that RPO look. You fake it to the running back. The lineman counts for a second or two and thinks the play is a run and goes down the field. So instead of a first down pickup, it's actually a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, give more credit to the Placer defense for forcing that delay and getting the pass away.
Ball's at the 40-yard line. Looked like everybody moved early but the center. And they're going to call a false start. So back-to-back penalties by Vista Del Lago as John Kett gets into a center. Austin Zagana tells him you're supposed to snap the ball. Everybody moved but the center.
That was one of those ones where you just do the shrug emoji and go, I don't know what happened. Just give him a penalty.
Or the hand over the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones. All right, well, timeout on the field. We'll go ahead and take it. 28-0. Vista leads Placer. 8:24 to go in the fourth quarter. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the foothills. Scott Gordon marked the Phantom low. It is 1st and 20 at their own 35. Vista Del Lago will give it again to number 15. And he's got his third carry on the drive. That's Ethan Jones. Picks up about 5 yards.
5 or 6.
And then you got some players getting into it. Matt Werpe and Luke Platzer going back and forth. These teams know each other well, Phantom. This is the fourth time they've played each other in the last 3 years.
Yeah, and figure every play that Vista runs, it's those two guys going at each other. So that tends to get a little old by the time you get to the fourth quarter.
Luke Platzer has taken off the field and is now having a conversation with head coach Joey Montoya. David Briggs brought into his spot. It really has been all Vista offensively tonight. Ball spotted on the left hash. They're going left to right on your radio dial. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Ethan Jones remains the only setback. 2nd and 16. They give it to him. Ethan Jones taken downfield. Runs very hard. Nico Borden caught him at the line of scrimmage, but he got carried for about 5 or 6 yards. Pickup of about 8. That'll be up to about the 47.
You know, you mentioned it's been all Vista as far as offensively tonight, Scott, and you know they've scored 35 in their first game, 49 in their second, and 28 in their third against good competition, so no surprise that they can put points on the board.
28 last week against Vanden as well, 28-24. Kett does a nice job with that hard count. It is 3rd and 7, just about 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, and the center just fell over.
Everybody went.
John Zagonia has someplace to go. He's the center for Vista. The problem is he didn't snap the ball or do anything. He just fell forward.
There were a couple of Placer guys moving, and all of a sudden the center just tips over, which is a tremendous fake, I guess, if you're trying to draw people off. But I don't think it's legal.
Is it inappropriate to make cow tipping jokes at this point?
Yes, it is very
Okay,
inappropriate.
thank you.
But go ahead. You can write it down.
No, you help me with my open.
You got it. Yeah.
7 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Placer down 28-0. It is 3rd and 12. The ball's at the 43-yard line. 3rd and 12. 3 receivers right. John Kett will operate from the shotgun. He will give it again to Ethan Jones, and Jones is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up about 3, and one of the Vista Del Lago offensive linemen was rolled up on. I think that was one of their captains, the left tackle, Andrew Powers.
Let's hope it's nothing serious. And, you know, if you're Vista Del Lago, you're happy because you got Xavier Bryant, who's been your workhorse, averaging 17 carries a game and coming into this one, and he doesn't have to play here in the last, half or last of the fourth quarter, and you can get carries for somebody else, and he can take a break.
That's the one thing Kyle Landis is going to be worried about as he sends his punting unit on the field up 28-0, is injuries to key players. And having your captain rolled up on, you just hope that's not an injury that keeps him out for a couple weeks.
It looks like he made it off the field okay, so let's hope he is back in action the next time the Eagles take the field in a different game, of course.
Grant Rogers on to kick. Kiefer Abbs back deep to return. Snap is back, kick is up, and it goes off the up back and getting away from it. This punt's not going to go anywhere. Literally a negative play as the up back backed up into the punt, and he kicked it right into the back of him.
Can I say I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often? I never see that. And, Rogers, his kick point, if you will, very low to the ground. So he kind of dropped it like an Australian kicker, and he got it there. And as you mentioned, the up back is not so far up because he moved back, and then you had a collision.
Two things I always remember in college. The up back is never supposed to take a step back.
You're
always supposed to go forward.
You're an up back.
And if you think of what Baylor Kelly is when Kevin Martinez is putting, he's only 3 yards behind. Yep. He was about 7 yards deep. Nonetheless, Placer takes over in Vista territory, trailing 28-0, 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go. They're at the 48. They give it to Jaden Erickson. Erickson around the corner. He's got a lot of room, does a nice job of getting up to about the 41, brought down on the play by Matt Werpe.
Got to say, been very impressed by the Vista defense as far as their pursuit is concerned, because the Hillmen run a lot of sweeps and tried a lot of sweeps here tonight, and for the most part, even the successful ones haven't gone for more than 3 or 4 yards because of the pursuit.
I think the familiarity that Kyle Landis has with this team, and also realizing that they're a man or two down, as we know, without Dash Tebbs, without Costa Lexic. Pick up 5 yards on first down, balls on the left hash. Give this one to Parker Kelly. Parker Kelly breaks, tackles, spins, and gets up to about the 35, and that's good enough for a first down.
Good run by Parker Kelly, and it's nice to see the Hillmen getting some offense, even if it's a little bit too late, as far as getting some success. And, you know, you want to come out here with some positive feelings. You want to feel like you moved the ball. You don't want to get the goose egg on the scoreboard.
Placer had the ball for almost 8 minutes of the third quarter, drove it down to about the 25 and turned it over on downs. This is their second opportunity deep inside Vista territory to try to get some points. About 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Placer trails. They send Landon Fowler in motion. They give it to Jaden Erickson on the inside give. He picks up 4.
Again, a good-looking play, but the Eagles basically waiting for that one, and a play that usually goes for a little bit further goes for just 4 yards that time.
Parker Kelly in the huddle, trying to get out a cramp in his right calf. He has played gutsy, as the Kelly brothers have all night. Ryan Miller jogs into the huddle. Ball's on the left hash, 32-yard line. Placer's going right to left. 2nd and 7. One back in the backfield is Erickson. He runs hard. They give it to him, and he gets up to about the 29, picks up about 3, and he is stacked up defensively. Nice stop on the play by number 4, Nick Braver.
Yeah, those guys, we talked about it all night. You got those guys up front for the Hillmen. They've been out there a long time tonight, and they've been basically going uphill the whole night, and they're trying to get out there and get one final drive here and give Erickson, like you mentioned, he runs hard and met by hard-hitting guys from the Eagles side.
It is 3rd and 4. Ryan Miller gives it to the first back through. That's Parker Kelly. Kelly spins ahead. He gets ahead of the 25. He picks up a first down. They mark him at about the 24. So Parker Kelly, he might only stand 5'7", 165, but he is all heart.
Well, he and Baylor both, as you talked about earlier this season, Baylor Kelly putting on some weight to get himself up to 165 or something like that. So they're both small in stature, but they run very hard. And as we say that, Parker comes off limping a little bit to the sidelines.
One of the leading tacklers on the defensive side of the ball called to action on offense is timeout on the field taken by Vista Del Lago. We'll go ahead and step aside as well. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, AM and FM, your voice of the foothills. Placer, with 4 minutes to go in the game, has it 1st and 10 at the 24 of Vista Del Lago, trailing this one 28-0. Scott Gordon alongside Mark the Phantom Lowe. It's the second time Placer has driven the ball deep inside Vista territory. They give it to the second man through, Jaden Erickson around the edge. He breaks the tackle. He cuts back. He's all the way down to the 9-yard line. It looked like he was going to be tackled for a loss, but what a job. The young man who had the touchdown run last week of 27 yards against Del Oro was not about to be stopped there.
Yeah, brilliant move right there. It looked like once he got past that guy, there might have been a block in the back by a Hillman, but not called by the referee, or didn't actually happen. So a good play by Erickson. That gives the Hillman a little life as they try to punch in their first points of the night.
First time they've been inside the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal at the 9. They do trail 28-0, but they're trying to punch one in here. Split backs. Ryan Miller gives it to Baylor Kelly. Not much of a yardage there, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. Probably lost about a yard or two on the play as he's stacked up by Matt Long.
Yeah, and Baylor Kelly has probably for the most times this year, Scott, when he's gotten the handoff, he's looked up and he saw a mass of the other team in front of him. Usually not the case with the Hillman offense, but in this case, Vista has been right there waiting for him.
Both Kelly brothers will be in serious need of an ice bath after this one, as they have played hard and they have been pushing the rock uphill. Ball is right in the middle of the field at the 10-yard line. 2nd and goal. Ryan Miller breaks the huddle. He's got one back behind him. Jaden Erickson goes in motion. He fakes to the back. He looks left, throws it out to the side to Erickson, and it's just incomplete. Erickson was open, and if Miller's pass would have got to him, he would have walked in the end zone for a touchdown. A well-designed play, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of receivers tonight not open and trying to force the ball in, but that time you're right, Scott. Erickson open and going out to the flat right there, right around the goal line. The pass just a little out of his reach.
A good design down around the goal line. You see a lot of man coverage, so bring a guy over in motion. He had him there. So 3rd and goal now at the 10. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go in this football game. Vista Del Lago leads at 28-0, but Placer threatening to punch it in for the first time tonight. Their deepest penetration. They're double tight left, middle of the field. They give it to Jaden Erickson around the corner. Why not? He continues to break tackles and goes backwards all the way down to the 2. This drive has really been Jaden Erickson.
Absolutely been Erickson getting out to that left side, and now they've got a 4th down at the 2-yard line. And let's see if the Hillmen want to talk this one over or they'll go ahead and go for it.
Down 28-0, the ball on the 3-yard line. They are absolutely trying to punch one in. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play. 4th and goal at the 3. Ryan Miller breaks the huddle. Erickson goes in motion. They give it to Parker Kelly. Kelly tries to squeeze through. They say he's in. Touchdown, Hillman.
That is what you call earning a touchdown, as Parker Kelly, after a couple of times back to the sidelines and back in the game, pushes it across from 3 yards.
And can barely stand up on the field as he's got a cramp in his left leg, both in his calf and his thigh. They went power formation left. They put Jaden Erickson in motion, and then they gave the ball to Parker Kelly. And Parker Kelly willed the ball over the goal line to give Placer their first points of the night. It is 28-6 pending Kevin Martinez's extra point.
And Kelly's trying to will his way, like he did in the end zone, trying to will his way over to the sideline. As you mentioned, getting a little bit of help there as he tries to walk out what we hope is a cramp.
3 coaches, including Joey Montoya, over there to try to spend some time with him as he has played his heart out tonight. Placer just outmanned a little bit, missing some of their big horses, and Vista took advantage of it. Played a very, very good football game. Nonetheless, Placer was not about to be shut out. It is 28-6 pending the extra point as they run on a player to take Kelly's spot on the line.
Come on, guys.
Coming late onto the field is number 53, Connor Atkinson. And jogging off the field at a rapid pace is another Hillman. So Kevin Martinez back, and they get them to jump. So jumped off sides, they move it a yard closer, and they will kick the extra point still.
Looks like they declined the penalty. They're just going to go ahead and kick. Last week they got, after the first touchdown, they got the same penalty against Deluro. They went for 2 and were not successful.
Martinez's kick is up, and it is good. So Placer, with 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go in this football game, they now trail 28-7. And Phantom, even though it's 28-7, the Placer Hillman played much better in the second half.
Yeah, I think they did play much better in the second half, and I think this is a situation, and I don't think it's sour grapes at all. I think this is a situation where the attrition really got to them. You're playing a really good ball club. You don't have your complement of backs, and some of those backs also play defensively. They're two-way players, and playing against a team that's this good and has this many options, you really need everybody out there. And as you mentioned earlier, some of those guys on the line playing both ways, just getting really tired here in the third and fourth quarter, but give the Hillman credit for the way they've fought.
21-0 at halftime in favor of Vista. It's been 7-7 in the second half, and Placer's had a couple long drives and continued to fight. They will kick it off. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them online at auburntrophies.com. And Kevin Martinez with a little squib kick to the left side. It'll be fielded about the 28 and immediately go down. Smart play by Luke Ludbeck, one of the senior defensive backs, and that's where Vista will take over. Jogging on the field will be their senior quarterback, who's been impressive so far tonight, John Kett.
And as you mentioned, in a 28-7 game, you don't want to leave anybody out there and possibly get them injured. But I fully expect they'll turn around and hand it to the third running back, who's come in and done a really good job.
Ethan Jones. And he's the one in the game right now. Quick snap. They give it to Jones again. Jones is met by Zach Robinson after a pickup of about 3. And if you're Kyle Landis, you don't want to get anybody else hurt. Good news is, no, I do not see Andrew Powers back in, so hopefully that injury does not keep him out at next week. Less than 2 minutes to go in the game. Ball is on the right hash. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Matt Long in the slot. They turn, they give it to Jones again. Jones spins and picks up a first down. And you're at the point now, Phantom, where they can actually probably just start putting the knee on the ground as this one's close to being over.
Yeah, it looks like Joey's getting some new guys in, because 2 plays in a row they've had somebody run in right before the snap. So I think he's trying to get some of his other guys in as well.
And it looks like Vista will be sending in some new players. First time tonight. See number 17 check into the game, Nathan Garrigan. They're starting running backs back in the game, though. Xavier Bryan up 28-7 with about a minute to play. And they do give it to Bryan, and Bryan picks up about 4 or 5 yards and gets up kind of slow.
I'm just wondering maybe if that Xavier Bryan's out here maybe trying to get that 100-yard game that we were talking about a little bit earlier. That's the only reason I can think of to bring a running back out at this point in the ball game.
Well, he got up a little slow.
Yeah, he did.
About 30 seconds to go in this game. Vista is going to win it 28-7. They continue to hand the ball off. This time they give it to Ethan Jones. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Great job defensively by number 74, Nico Borden, on the stop.
Borden has been excellent all season long, Scott. We've said his name on offense. We've said his name on defense. And he is playing until the last seconds, and he makes the last tackle.
And that will be, it looks like, the last play of the game. Your Placer Hillman will fall to 0-4 for the second time in 3 years. And for Vista Del Lago, they will go to 3-1 with an impressive 28-7 victory. Welcome back to Lefebvre Stadium, where the student body and the football team face one another and sing the alma mater. An uplifting moment on what was a tough game for the Placer Hillman tonight.
Please drive home safely, and remember, in the best of times, the worst of times, and of all times, it is great to be a Hillman. Drive home safely. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Proctor High School, welcome you to Vista Stadium for tonight's game between the visiting Eagles of Vista Del Lago High School and your Placer Hillman.
But you The